I would definitely have to say that the two characters that I'm looking forward to the most in Episode 9 and I'm very curious about has got to be Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, looking at Episode 9, we do know that both J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio are doing something rather unique for the character of both Luke and Kylo Ren. We do know that J.J. Abrams is taking Kylo Ren down a darker path, and will be a Kylo Ren that is very much different from the Kylo that we know in both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So this version of the character is really going to stand out from the two other versions of Kylo Ren, which honestly should be very interesting to see exactly how they're going to do this in Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which specifically has all to do with both Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker. Specifically, a description of a younger Luke Skywalker in Jedi robes on the same, if not similar, planet to the location of his training temple, as seen in The Last Jedi. Luke is wielding an ignited lightsaber while Ben Solo is by his side, with a blue ignited lightsaber. Luke appears to be teaching his nephew some moves for battle. The two are on a field fighting each other for training purposes. Ben's lightsaber is the same one as seen in The Last Jedi before it was transferred to the crossguard version. The next goes over both Luke and Kylo locking their lightsabers together, with the new generation of Jedi in the background watching this unfold. The last shows Luke and Kylo sitting on the ground in front of each other, with Luke holding Ben's hilt and offering it to him. This could mean that it is now worthy for Ben to use on his own. So one thing is for certain, this most definitely is in the form of a flashback scene, right? Something that J.J. Abrams brought to the table for the Star Wars franchise in the sequel trilogy. And this is something that some people disagree with and some people actually agree with. A lot of people out there like and or dislike the concept of flashbacks in a Star Wars movie. You know, we've seen examples of this both in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi by J.J. and Rian Johnson. Now sure, Rian Johnson treated it in a different way, where it wasn't necessarily a vision. You're essentially just seeing about what Luke is talking about inside of his head as he describes, you know, the events that unfolded for Rey. So looking at everything here for Episode 9, the training between both Ben and Luke is something that I think should most definitely be explored to better understand the relationship between both Luke and Kylo as uncle and nephew. Kind of make those two characters more grounded as family, and that is something that I think really needs to be developed in the sequel trilogy. The same goes with both, you know, Han and Ben Solo. That's why for me, at least in The Force Awakens, Han's death, it didn't really emotionally impact me too much because we weren't really invested with those two characters being on screen together for a very long time. I think that Han's death would have been better suited for The Last Jedi, and then Luke's death for Episode 9. That's how it honestly should have flowed, whereas in The Force Awakens, no major deaths would have been seen. I think that would have been a better idea personally. But as for the training sequence between both Kylo and Luke Skywalker, this Jedi Temple, I don't know if you guys read the Last Jedi novel, but Luke Skywalker actually kept it a secret from everybody, except for a couple of people that he actually knew in his life, one of which is, of course, Ben Solo. Now, the reason as to why he kept it a secret, we pretty much don't know exactly, but it's pretty safe to say that he wanted to prevent, you know, the same exact thing happening from the prequels where we saw a Jedi purge, right? And it happened anyway from inside Kylo Ren himself. So, with Episode 9 here, alright, we actually did get to see in The Last Jedi Kylo Ren's blue lightsaber, Ben Solo's, before it became a crossguard, or also known as the tri-blade lightsaber. He actually had to rebuild it from scratch and essentially transfer all the parts from, you know, that hilt and kind of create vents in order to make it a little bit more stable after cracking his kyber crystal, most likely. The training between both Luke and Kylo, I think, is amazing. From what's being described, how two lightsabers are locking blades, That to me sounds like this is going to be a new type of training for Jedi, something that we have never seen on screen before, and that I think is something completely revolutionary when it comes to Star Wars, at least for the movies. You know, in the originals, the training was basically, you know, Luke with Yoda doing all the backflips and the handstands and floating rocks and all that. Now, there is a rumored novel about, you know, Ben Solo coming out at some point in time in 2019. We're not quite sure when that would really drop, but if that actually does drop, we will be learning more about the character of Ben Solo before he turned to the dark side as Kylo Ren. But guys, I would really love to, you know, hear what you guys have to say about this, the new generation of Jedi, witnessing the training between both Luke and Kylo. Hopefully we do get to see this in the finalized version of the movie, because this, to me, sounds rather epic and something that J.J. Abrams would really do. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.